So Clayton, you were born in Mona Vale, Sydney, Australia, and as a kid, was that a talking point among your friends and things like that in California?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being from California, it's the last thing people expect, and really nobody would know it until someone mentions Australia or something on TV comes up, and you happen to mention you're from there, and it just kind of catches everyone's eye. They don't necessarily believe you at first, being in California so far away, but yeah, it definitely came up and it was cool. They found it interesting, and obviously going back and visiting a few times, it was neat to bring things back and tell people about it.
Oh, good. And sometimes you have those sort of family barbecues or conversations where, you reminisce on old times in Australia and get those stories sort of coming out?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is with my mom. I mean, she lived there for like 7 years. She traveled the whole world, and Australia was her favorite place. That's where she decided to live for quite some time. So it's always nice to hear some, because my memories are pretty vague. So it's nice to hear all the stories. Good.
And what did you think of the Sydney 2000 Olympics? Did it? I mean, you mentioned you went to the gold medal game for baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, we went to a couple other baseball games. Went to the soccer or football gold medal game as well, and that was unbelievable. And then the baseball, with Cuba and USA happened to make it. It was awesome. It was a great experience.
Great. And when did you notice Australians sort of reaching out to you, saying, "Hey, you're an Australian," things like that?
Yeah, I mean, probably 2008 when I was in the California League, we had a guy that worked in the team that was from Australia, and he went back and forth, and he would always keep me updated because he would be traveling back and forth, and we had a couple fans that they'd bring me some Australian things, whenever I'd have a good outing. So probably 2008.
Good. And obviously the Australian Baseball League is on during the American winter, and I was just, a few people have sort of been asking, is Clayton Tanner interested in coming to Australia and maybe playing some winter ball in the Australian Baseball League? I mean, have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I've never played any kind of winter ball, and obviously it's kind of the point in my career where guys start going and playing, whether it be the Venezuela or Dominican Republic, and obviously my number one choice would be Australian Baseball League. I just found out about it this spring training, and it's something exciting. Hopefully I'll get to experience.
Is there a particular city that you'd like to play? Because obviously we have teams in each of the major cities, but perhaps a bit of a homecoming to Sydney, would that appeal to you?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's obviously the Sydney, Manly area is what I visit that the most. So that'd be awesome.
Okay, that's awesome. And how do you feel the 2011 season is progressing for you so far?
It's going pretty good. I've had a couple rough outings, but our team's starting to play really well, and my last 8 or so starts have been really good. So just trying to, obviously you want to get off to a good start, but it's all about a good finish as well. So if I can just keep the team playing well, keep myself pitching well, and we'll be fine.
Okay. And in terms of one major highlight this season, I've seen a couple of games recently, a couple sort of back-to-back that have looked really sharp. I mean, yeah. Is there one that really stands out for you?
Actually, last time I threw here and against Reading, I pitched really well. I took a perfect game through 6 2/3, and then ended up giving up a hit and then a home run. So it kind of got erased quick, but it was pretty neat, going perfect for that long.
And obviously being on the Major League spring training roster this year, was that an opportunity for you? Did you feel like being amongst those players that you had a good feel for where you wanted to go and what you needed to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, obviously being a hometown kid in respect to the States, being right next to San Francisco and growing up right there playing with all these guys, the Brian Wilsons and the Barry Zitos that you watched as a kid, Zito pitching in Oakland, and now you're in the same locker room with him. It's a great experience, but it's humbling, but at the same time you realize that you're getting close to your dream, and it just makes you want to work that much harder.
Good. And what's an area of your game that you'd like to make some further progress in during the course of this season? You'd like to perhaps sharpen up or get a bit more sort of depth or experience in?
Yeah, my biggest thing is just being consistent. Like you said, I've been stringing quite a few together now, and it's just being consistent, not taking, if you have a bad outing, the next one's a good one. It doesn't take 2 or 3 to get back on track. So just being consistent with mechanics and just repeating the delivery, and everything else will, kind of take care of itself.
And the last question we have for you, how do you feel about potentially representing Australia wearing the green and gold? How does that sort of feel for you, something along those lines, potentially, playing for, I guess, another country, but the country that you were born in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's my original, home country, hometown. So obviously, growing up in the States mostly, you'd like to play for the United States, but at the same time, like you said, I'm originally from Australia, and I mean, that'd be a great honor to be able to wear the colors and be able to represent them at the world level.
Excellent. Well, Clayton, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.